Welcome to the very first session of Datascope 101 with Actio Solutions, and led by me. I'm Earl Linfors. I'm the lead data strategist for Actio. Today's session, we're going to be hitting on the 5 data W's. These are the questions that you ask before, during, and after your analysis to make sure that you understand what the problem is and how you're going to approach it. So who are we? So Actio is a consulting services company. We hit on 3 key sectors of investigation and assessment: data analytics, leadership development, organizational strategy and design. All 3 of those are important to how a business runs and operates, and we have experts in the field to really get you where you need to be. So what do? Everything is data-driven. Data-driven integrated solutions. Right? It starts with data, ends with data, and for the sole purpose of ensuring your business is operating as smoothly as it can and you are achieving your goals, whether it be profit, whether it be returns, whether it be maximizing customers. We do a full end-to-end assessment of that set of investigative areas. So it all starts with data, right? Data is the foundation of everything. Right. And what is data? Data is just simply observed factual elements. These are the pieces in the processes that are giving you insight for what is happening in your day-to-day business. Well, data will transform into information if it's organized. Right? And organized takes a strategy. Information can then evolve into knowledge. Knowledge is simply processed information. Again, it takes a standard set of steps to ensure that you can get past information and transform into knowledge. Wisdom, that is the pinnacle of that 4-step process. This set of steps is common in the knowledge management world, and it is key to getting data into what I call action. Why? Because it's applied knowledge that can then render a decision. And these 4 pieces of this pyramid are critical because it represents the decision risk that comes with data. And as you evolve through these different stages, this is where you can really get your business to a mature level to ensure that you are on top of your game. So why scope? Well, scope is useful in 2 ways. It's a noun, the extent of data influence. And when we say extent, we mean the far-reaching effects. These are the indicators. I call it evidence of data in motion. Second is a verb. Well, verb to investigate. All right, you're going to investigate those data influencers. Why? Because there's a cause and effect relationship with data. If you're seeing data and you're seeing the effects that it's having, well, then it renders the question, why? So root cause and evidence, the 2 key pieces of scope. And that's why we call it data scope. So let's talk a little more about that. So there's a people aspect of every process that's out there. People and process are joined at the hip. There's also a technology element. You combine all 3 of those facets, there's data right at the middle. That's the common denominator. You can't separate data from any one of those 3 pillars. Why is that important? Well, we want to drive insight. Why? Insight, as we showed on the slide before, drives knowledge. Knowledge then leads to decision. That is the full life cycle of data, leveraging the people, process, and technology framework. That's where we want to be. So let's jump right into it, the 5 data W's. First up front, the what. What is the decision we're trying to make? What is the problem we're trying to solve? We need to have clear understanding, common understanding, what it is we're trying to achieve. That can be agreed upon by observations, by, again, evidence of a problem. This isn't speculation. This is data. There needs to be data to support what is the decision we're trying to make. Moving on. Why? Why is the decision important? What's the impact going to be? What is the risk of not doing the analysis? Is it a problem that's going to get worse? Is there an opportunity to get better? Why? What will be the benefit of pursuing? Who are the stakeholders? Their input matters, especially if you're trying to determine root cause. Their role in this process is key. A full set of stakeholders identified up front with their solicited feedback will lead to a very thorough and comprehensive analysis to ensure you don't have any gaps. Re-engineering is not an option. When? When is a critical window of opportunity? How late is too late? If you're taking data in on a biweekly basis, but the impact of the problem that you're trying to solve or investigate is hitting you at a weekly return, well, then you're missing that opportunity. That takes analysis. That takes knowledge and insight of the processes and operations that you're investigating. Where? Where does the data exist? What form is it in? How can you get to it? Who are the proponents that you have to work with in order to get access to that data? These are all key questions that must be in place and answered before you can confidently pursue getting after your analysis. So team, these are short tips and tricks intended to be 5 minutes or less so that you can quickly pull some thread on what can be useful in your own area. We will have more sessions coming up. Session 2 to be determined at a later date be good data, where we're going to look at what qualifies data as being good. What are those attributes, and how can we move data to be more in line with those attributes? So that's coming soon. So with that, I thank you for joining. We look forward to having you sit in on the next one. This is Earl Linfors at Actio Solutions signing out. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.